Hey, what is up guys? DRC3 here, back with another My Hero Ultra Impact video, and today we are going to be doing the passer poll for the upcoming banner featuring the brand new INT Bakugo, but this time we are going to be doing the order in reverse. Normally I do the characters first and then I go over the memories. This time we're going to take a look at the memories first and then go over the characters. So we're going to be starting with this SR memory right here, Power, featuring Mirio and Najire, and honestly, like, the Najire in this picture right here makes me want this memory alone. Like, nothing else makes me want this memory. Like, Najire looks so sick like that. Maybe I'm like Toga, I just like her because she's beat up, but like, honestly, Najire looks amazing in this memory. So let's take a look at what it actually does. It gives the character ability to evade 2 times after receiving 2 attacks from villains, up to 3 times. And then multi-hit attacks count as 1 attack. Once per battle, regenerates character's HP by 20% for 3 turns when HP is below 50%. Regenerating HP is always good. Gaining the ability to evade is always good. And it looks like for 3 turns, that's actually pretty solid. But here's the problem you're gonna run into in the game is, like, PvP, this memory is never gonna work. While evasion is actually really useful in PvP, how many people run villains in Ultra Arena? You'll see almost no villains in Ultra Arena. Then also think about, in comparison to all the characters, all the URs in the game, how many of those URs are actually villains? There are a lot less, like significantly less villains currently in the game than there are UA high students and pro heroes put together. Like, there's just a lot more hero-based characters, right? Eventually, this could become a better memory when more villains get added to the game, but as of right now, like, there's just not even content in the game besides Climax Battle that features villains, but they've switched to Best Genius recently, which is a hero, so there's just not a whole lot of content in the game where this is going to be super useful. I guess it could be okay in VE Tower potentially if you're just trying to clear it, but it's not going to help you get a high score. So overall, this SR memory is very meh. It's not really going to be needed unless they add some new form of content into the game that I have not foreseen yet, because, you know, we don't know what might happen during the Global 1-year anniversary. We also don't know what might happen during the JP 2-year anniversary, which are both coming up relatively soon. Global obviously first, and then a few months down the line we'll have the JP anniversary. But as of right now, this memory is only good for the art, and the art is literally like amazing. Now to take a look at the UR memory, a hero I look up to. Once again, the art team is freaking killing it, guys. Like, this is amazing, amazing art. Like, I really like this, and it's another one of those where, like, I would pull just for the art. Like, it is so good. But I wish I could say the effect was as good as the art. Let's read the effect though. Makes character ecstatic for 3 turns when battle starts. Okay, that's decent. That's really good. Increases character skill impact by 40% if there are any heroes on the team. Increasing skill impact is always good. I actually think I prefer memories that increase power. So if you don't know the difference between skill impact and power, skill impact takes the damage that's already there and multiplies it, increases it by 40%, whereas power takes your base stats of your character and multiplies it by whatever percent it's saying on the memory or the character's increase in power. So increasing skill impact is okay, but I think increasing power, in my opinion, is a little bit better. Also increases character skill impact by 25% if All Might is on the team. So that's like a weird stipulation on a UR memory. This feels like a SR memory stipulation to have All Might on the team, and let's be honest, there's just not a whole lot of great All Mights in the game. Blue All Might, you know, he's good because he has the barrier penetration, but how many forms of content in the game require barrier penetration? So this memory is just not going to be great. Also, it doesn't really have crit, it doesn't have speed, it doesn't have anything we're looking for in the current metas of Ultra Arena, PvP and PvE. Like, there's nothing there. Doing more damage is always great, but like, that can only get you so far. So this is a very meh memory. This is a mid memory right now. Once again, we don't know what content might be coming to the game. This could potentially become the best memory in the game, depending on what content they add to the game. But as of right now, and I don't really foresee them adding anything into the game that's going to make this the best memory anytime soon, but as of right now, it's just a meh memory, so it's not great. And at the end of this video, I will be telling you guys, after we look at both the SR character and the UR character overall for the banner as a whole, whether you guys should pass or pull. Next, we have the SR character. All right, so now we have a Black Whip Deku who's actually kitted, but kitted in the worst way possible. So if you remember, back when the UR Black Whip Deku came out, we were all kind of underwhelmed. We're like, wow, his kit is really lacking. Only his Plus Ultra was able to bind. Well, this guy Yeah, he does more technically than the UR, but not in the best way. So let's take a look at his kit. So his plus ultra move is called Black Whip, gives character persistence for 1 turn, deals 500% damage to a single opponent, medium chance 40% of binding the opponent for 1 turn, also inflicts some of the damage dealt to character, meaning he hurts himself, shortens character's action skill cooldown time by 1, so that's good, cancels all of the character's temporary buffs. And when it says cancels all of the character's temporary buffs, I do believe that means his own. That's typically what it means when they phrase it. They would say cancels the opponent's buffs. So he's getting rid of his own temporary buffs, which screws him over. He is hurting himself, but on the other hand, we get the chance to bind 40%, just a chance, it's not guaranteed. And we get to shorten our action skill cooldown time by 1. Our 7-turn action skill cooldown time by 1, we get to shorten that. So yeah, that's an interesting plus ultra. This is all right, let's continue. His first action skill is called Self-Sacrifice. Increases character's max HP by 35% for 3 turns. Good, because he is dearly going to need it if he's going to be hurting himself all the time. Increases character's skill impact by 40% for 3 turns. Okay, a lot of damage, so he's going to do a decent amount of damage for an SR. Great, we'll take that. Increases character's plus ultra gauge by 35%. Also, we'll take that. That's always good that they increase their own plus ultra. Also gives character the ability to make a last stand 4 times. 4 times. So it seems like they want this character to be at no health a majority of the battle and to just be sitting there like, ha, you can't kill me, which is interesting. And it could maybe work for some tricky VE towers, but like really, I don't know. And whenever we're looking at SR characters, we're looking at them specifically pretty much for VE tower, because that's the only form of in-game content where SRs are going to be super, super useful, right? Okay, so his second action skill is called Detroit Smash. It deals 475% damage to a single opponent, increases character skill impact by 30%, so another skill impact increase when power is increased. And you can increase his power through a DX skill, so that's not hard to do. But yeah, so he's just going to hit really hard for an SR character, but then also inflicts some of the damage dealt to characters. So he's going to inflict some of that damage to himself. And I don't know if it's just because Hydros didn't put it here or because it wasn't provided. I don't like how this doesn't give me a percentage. Also inflicts some of the damage dealt to the character. How much damage are we actually putting into ourselves? That's the question. Maybe it's minimal. Maybe it's very, very little. And it's not a big deal. But on the other hand, it could be like 40%, 50% of our overall damage goes to us. And then we're like, oh crap, we're actually getting hit pretty hard. So yeah. And right now we're at 6-turn cooldowns and 5-turn cooldowns. Cooldowns kind of really are great for this SR character. Either that makes him very limited in his uses. And then his first auto skill is I'll Save You. Increases character's defense by 15% for 3 turns when the battle starts. Once again, he desperately needs it. But then also causes character to bleed. Just forever? Just forever. That's literally what it looks forever. From the start of battle, he is just bleeding, losing health. What is, they went wild with this character. Also gives character the ability to make a last stand 1 time every time HP falls below 5%. So he's getting 5 last stands. 5 last stands. That is actually... They want him to be at no HP. This feels like if they were going to make an April Fool's character, this feels like the character, but nah, this is a real thing. This is such, like, it's interesting, but I don't like it. I just, what do I say? What do I say here, guys? Let me know in the comments what you're thinking at this point. Anyways, his second auto skill, The Man Who Overcame, gives character resilience. If you don't know what resilience is, it's as you lose health, you gain more power. So guess what? Like I've been saying, he's just going to hit really, really hard. Increases character's power by 15% when making a last stand. Okay, shortens character's action skill cooldown time by 1 when used in a successfully executed skill chain. All right, so the reason I've been pointing out the cooldown times is because before this was 6 and 5. Now, whenever we use these in a successfully executed skill chain, it becomes 5 and 4, actually making his cooldowns decent overall and having him have a double technical, or not double technical, 2 technicals, which is really, really good. So that... it kind of makes up for it. Like that one part right there makes him a somewhat decent character for VE Tower, and then also decreases character's defense, that is his own, by 15% for 3 turns when battle starts. So what is the point in increasing our defense by 15% and then decreasing it by 15%? What? Somebody explain this to me. Somebody, why are we? It doesn't make sense. It literally does not make sense. This character baffles me. It really does. Like, the art is almost better than the UR Black Whip Deku too. Like, this art is better than the the UR Black Whip Deku got done dirty, and this guy is, I don't know. Overall, my opinion of him is he's not great because this is still a 5-turn cooldown. This is a 4-turn cooldown, which is okay, but still not going to be great for VE Tower. He's going to be like on his last legs most of the VE Tower, which is rough, but he does have the technicals. He has technicals for both action skills because of his auto down here. He does have his own plus ultra raise, and he does have a lot of damage. The only thing he's really missing is status elements on these 2 action skills. He has a status element on his plus ultra, which is okay, and he's also missing crits. So like, he checks a lot of the boxes, and it hurts me to say he actually does check a lot of the boxes for what you're looking for a VE Tower, and that he has technicals, he has status elements, he has okay cooldowns. They're not great, but he does lack crits and, you know, status elements on these. So overall, I would say he's going to be a very mid character. Like, he could be used in certain scenarios. He certainly is going to have more uses than other characters. I just really hate that he's just going to be dying the whole time. Like, there's nothing you can do. He is going to be constantly bleeding and hurting himself, and I hope you have a really good healer on the team. Like, this is, yeah, I feel bad for this Deku. I really do. Like, they just went all out in making him hurt himself. I feel so bad for him. Anyways, that was the SR character. Now for the UR INT Bakugo that we have literally been waiting over a year for. All right, so Golden Chance Katsuki Bakugo. I am actually very excited for this character, but very upset at the same time, because if this character was released at any other point in time, you know I would be pulling for him. Like, I would want him so badly, but they are releasing him right before the global 1-year anniversary, and I actually really am upset about that, because this is the first character with a stackable power increase and crit rate increase that is infinite, which is insane. It's also the INT Bakugo. Like, people have been asking for this character for over a year now. Like, I'm not kidding when I say that, because we have a Infinity Stone Todoroki, we have Infinity Stone Deku, and everybody wanted the last Bakugo because we were literally only missing green Bakugo, and now we have him, and I want to complete the collection, right? But like, can I do that in good conscience, knowing that the 1-year anniversary is coming up? And I'm sure there's a lot of other people in the same situation. But anyways, let's take a look at his kit. His plus ultra move is called Armor Piercing Shot Infinity. Deals 700% damage to a single opponent. Medium chance 35% of burning the opponent for 3 turns, which is pretty good. Increases character's critical hit rate by 15% permanently. That is a beautiful word. I have been waiting for it, and it also makes me very nervous, because like, I remember when Dokkan started stacking defense and stuff like that, and like, stacking defense isn't a bad thing because it's not going to make the characters too overpowered, but stacking crit rate, that scares me a lot. All right, so his first action skill is called Armor Piercing Shot. Deals 400% damage to a single opponent. Low chance 25% of burning the opponent for 3 turns. Also increases character's power by 10% infinitely every time you use this action skill, which is insane. So he's just going to become, like, if you give him 8-9 turns, right, he is going to be the hardest hitting unit in the game, constantly at 99,000, like, alongside Fantasy Bakugo, who really hits hard because of his temporary buffs. The problem is with this character so far is that you do have to have the amount of turns you need to stack up your power and your crit rate and stuff like that. And so earlier in the game, you're not going to have all these stacks and he's not going to be as useful. And let's be honest, most content in the game doesn't make it past 6 turns, whether it's Ultra Arena or VE Tower, or shoot, even Climax Battle really only makes it to like turn 8 or 9, so you'll get like 1 turn of his max damage at the end. So yeah, as of right now, there's just not content in the game for this Bakugo. But because they have finally decided to add this stackable effect in the game, it gives me very, very, very high hopes for the future of the game, where we have like, if you, I don't want to make this comparison, but if we have like Infinite Dragon Ball history, right, where it was just a really long event in Dokkan Battle. If you play Dokkan Battle and you know what I'm talking about, I'm hoping we'll have something similar to that for My Hero, where we battle a couple of enemies in a row and the stacking actually becomes useful. I don't know if it'll come out anytime soon, but I'm hoping that's kind of where their vision is for this character, and that's where we'll end up. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments if they'll come out with something like that. His second action skill is called Max Firepower. It increases characters' critical hit rate by 30% for 4 turns, which 30% plus the 15% above, like massive amounts of crit. Increases characters' power by 10%, another stackable power boost. Insane. Also increases characters plus ultra gauge by 40%. So he increases crit, he increases his power, he increases his plus ultra. Overall, so far, phenomenal, beautiful, very, very like sexy. That is the word for this character. Very sexy. His first auto skill is called Swift Burst. When battle starts, makes character ecstatic for 3 turns, increases character's critical hit rate by 20% for 3 turns, and speed by 20% for 3 turns. That is insane. He's just gonna have so much crit, and he has plus ultra too, and they just kind of threw the speed in there to make him somewhat viable for PvP, but like he is going to be an amazing VE Tower unit. His last auto skill, Nitro Shot, increases character's critical skill impact by 25% when critical hit rate is increased. Guess what? Your crit rate is always increased, so you're always getting that extra 25% skill impact, making him hit even harder, not to mention your power increase. Also, shortens character's action skill cooldown time by 1 for every 3 critical hits. And it doesn't just mean critical hits with this Bakugo, it means critical hits for the team, I do believe. So if you hit 3 critical hits within a turn, which hopefully you will if you're using your character correctly, you could reduce, well, let's say you hit all 6 crits in a turn, right? You use your 3 action skills and your 3 normal skills, you could reduce one of these action skill cooldown times to 3, potentially within 1 turn. Like, what is this character? They went, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, they went nuts with this character, and I don't know if they held back enough on the stackable. Like, it's not a massive percentage, but that's still a pretty big percentage, and I'm nervous for how this character is going to play out. But needless to say, he is going to be a very, very good general pool Bakugo, like probably, arguably, the new best general pool Bakugo in game, as he should be because he's the newest, right? I don't really know if Blue Bakugo or the original Purple Bakugo will give him a run for his money. We'll have to wait and see. Of course, Fantasy Bakugo, I would say, is still going to be like far superior to this Bakugo because he can get his damage up and going much sooner. But just in terms of this character being a VE Tower unit and being really useful for that, I think he's just going to be insane compared to the other general pool Bakugos. Like, he's going to be really, really good. And his art, honestly, this is the one time I'm not super impressed with a UR character's art. It's very plain to me, but this is a general pool character, so I guess I can't be too upset. We've been spoiled with all the limited characters, the New Year's characters, the Christmas Sue, all those characters coming out. So, you know, it's okay to have a plain character like this, a plain art like this, and honestly, I'm okay with having plain art like this if that means they're putting more detail into the global 1-year anniversary characters, which I am very, very excited for. So in the end, is this banner worth pulling on? Here's the answer. Bakugo, amazing, very hard to pass up, but he is still a general pool unit. If you were to skip him and summon only on the anniversary banner, you still have a chance to pull him, okay? Same thing with Midnight. I said the same exact thing with Midnight. Skip Midnight, skip Bakugo, even if they're really good. Don't do what I do. I know I've done my own summons, right? Try to stay strong, avoid summoning, do not summon for these characters. They make them so enticing because they know people are trying to save hero gems for the anniversary and they're trying to get us to buy more hero gems, which is fine. That's a gotcha strategy, right? But try to skip these characters because you can still pull them later in the game. They are general pool units. Do not pull on this banner. He's really good. Really, really good. If you're going to be pulling on this banner, you're pulling for him and him alone. Like, he's amazing. Midoriya, very mid, very not great. Hurts himself. I just don't like his kit, but he could be decent. This memory, not great, very mid as well. And the SR memory, like, it's complete dog water. It's actually really not good. So all you're pulling for on this banner is the INT Bakugo, and your chances of pulling him, you know, are not going to be fantastic. Do your daily summons, use some silver tickets if you want, if you really have the itch. Do not waste your hero gems. But that is my recommendation. Let me know what you guys are going to do down in the comments below if you decide to summon or not. And if you guys enjoyed the video, please go down there, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and thank you guys for watching. Peace.